Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Greetings.
What's up?
I'm alive.
We are live.
I'm alive.
We are live.
No, we're not
We're
live.
live. I'm not gonna do it.
We're not
I'm not
live.
gonna do the Vin Diesel thing.
We're
We
not-
are live. For
we're
the first
not-
time in 3 weeks.
For me, I think it's been like a month.
Three
A
weeks.
year? Was I gone that long?
4 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
I think I've been gone for a very long time.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
I feel so
was I.
tired.
Well, we haven't done a live together in a while. 3 weeks.
I owe an apology to the
You had a
viewers.
cold. You almost died.
No, I
Now
had
you are live.
COVID, and then I had a COVID. Then I had a fucking sinus infection. Then a
Yeah,
nasal
COVID?
infection. Then a freaking cold. And yeah, I had COVID.
You still have COVID?
No,
No? Okay.
fuck a dumbass. I wouldn't be here if I had
That means
COVID.
I'm gonna have COVID.
Oh my god. He's not boosted. This is what happens when you promise people booster shot money and they don't take their boosters.
All right.
Fucking living examples at all.
I'm gonna get COVID. It's okay.
Goodbye.
But that's why I stayed away from you for 3 weeks. Because once you told me you had a cold, I was like, goodbye. I'm gone.
That's not why. I
That
told
is why.
No.
When you told me you had a cold, I was like, oh, no, we're not gonna do a live stream for a minute. For a while. It's okay.
This man was like, "Oh, you have a cold? We're still doing the video." I have the messages on Messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I changed my mind at the last minute. But it's okay.
He's scared of a cold and he got all those booster shots?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got all those booster shots. He got booster
My
shot
mom's
money.
78. I don't want her to die.
What does that have to do with it? You got the vaccines.
Yeah, but I don't want to get her
You
sick.
can't get nothing.
No, you can.
You can't.
You can.
So why you got the vaccine then?
No, I mean, I got the flu shot this year. I
This
didn't get
is
the COVID
fun.
this year.
This is really fun. The fact that they're arguing about it. I'm
I
like,
don't know. That's like some question.
Well, no, he's-
Because remember that time he came in, he said, "Oh, I'm like Superman.
Yes.
He's like a call for me, and I got all the boosters. I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, and I
I
said
got
that
everything."
shit.
You
That
said
he
that,
did,
right?
that he did.
So what happened with that?
Why? Because I don't want to get my mother sick.
But
She's
you
78.
didn't say that before.
I say it all the time. I say it every winter,
Okay.
sir.
Every
I say it every
winter.
winter. I'm going to survive.
He said
I'm going to be perfectly fine.
He said it at 4:20.
No,
You was feeling so good.
I'm perfectly
and
fine.
So proud.
I mean, I get sick every winter. I get sick every year in the winter.
Pain in my face.
But like, I get sick for 3 or 4 days and then I'm good. But I don't want to get my mother sick. 'Cause she's 78.
Anyways,
She's 58.
anyways,
Okay.
I'll
If I was living by myself,
Shut up.
if I was living by myself,
I will record the two of you talking about the whole booster shit after I do my video.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah,
do that.
yeah,
I just
Blaine-
heard that part. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
Blaine's anti-Fauci. He thinks the vaccines are killing him.
Shut up, you fucking nut job, man. God, you're a nut job.
All right, guys.
This man is a nut job right here. Don't
All right,
even
guys.
believe a word he says.
So Steve has COVID. So when
Past tense.
this is
Past
the,
tense.
This is the last time.
Oh, if he
The
dies,
last thing I get to
if
talk
he
about.
dies, he dies.
The last
That's
thing
all
I
it
get
is.
to talk about is Death Stranding 2. Wasn't that a great trailer, sir?
Well,
That was the greatest trailer that Sony has put out in years. In years.
Who said no? It ain't, because it's true.
It ain't true.
It is
That
true.
9-minute trailer was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Had great filmmaking, visuals, great gameplay. The same gameplay.
You know what
New
had-
mechanics.
You know
a
what-
new area. And you know what Hideo Kojima did so well? He followed up on the story of the first game, and then he expanded upon it. Right? Right? Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen. This man ain't listening.
I'm
He's on his
listening.
phone. Look at this. Look at this. That's why I get gray hair. But
He has
they-
gray hair because of genetics.
But he followed up on the first game, right? He followed up on the first
Yes.
game. He's following up on that story, and then he's expanding on it, and it's getting bigger. And he adds in a whole new area, the same character with what's her name? Lisa Seydoux character.
I don't know.
Lisa Seydoux character.
I don't recall the character's name. I was
No.
never into
It's
that
Argyle.
thing.
Argyle. That's not Argyle. It's Lisa Seydoux character. I know the name of the character, but she's back and she has like new hands on her neck, and it's like she could cover her mouth to avoid getting an infection or something from when she's treating a patient. It's like a mask, but it's 2 hands, and the hands do a lot of stuff too. It's so great. It's so great. I love it. And Norman Reedus looks great too. Troy Baker's back as the villain. I mean, it's just so great. Visuals are great. They're expanding on it. There's probably going to be a multiverse. And I think Ellie Fanning is playing his daughter. And the Drawbridge company, the ship that's going around trying to connect the rest of America to the internet, to the system, I think they're being funded by his daughter from the future. And I think Louise,
I want you to know
I
something.
think Lee Louise, he thinks she's dead, but she's not. She survived. And there's like 2, possibly 3 versions of her, because there's a samurai robotic person who has like a baby's laugh, who was fighting Troy Baker's character, who's the villain in the video game again. And so I think there might be 3 different versions of Norman Reedus, Bridges' daughter. I think there might be 3 different versions of Louise.
I want you to know something.
And there might be 3 different versions.
Shut up. I want you to know. I want you
So
to know
that trailer is
Shut
awesome.
up.
That trailer's amazing.
I want you to know something.
It's amazing. But let Steve.
I want you to know something.
Let Steve pretend to hate it. Go ahead.
I'm not hating it, but I do want to say you may have just said stuff that may be potential spoilers for things.
It's called theories. It's called theories. The trailer doesn't tell you
Potential.
nothing. They're potential spoilers. These are theories. I don't know if they're all going to come true, but with the way the trailer was presented, the way the story was shown, those are my theories. You want to hear my theory on Overdose?
Go ahead.
I think it's about Barney the Purple Dinosaur.
Thank you. Someone agrees.
I think it's about Barney the Purple Dinosaur who is eating animals and then bending and quacking. And I don't know why. We have to check if Barney the Purple Dinosaur is...
It's the fake.
We have to check.
Fake.
We have to check.
Onion ring. I'm sorry.
We have to check later on tonight if Barney the Purple Dinosaur is open to public domain. If so, that could be the main villain of Overdose.
Or it could be Minnie. It could be Mickey Mouse too. Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Steamboat Willie's
Right.
also open to me.
Yeah, but it's Barney the Purple Dinosaur. They say purple dinosaur eating a crab, a bird, something else, and then it's bending and quacking. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Okay.
It seems weird.
That's off topic. That's Xbox. Let's back to State of Play. Stellar Blade. No, go ahead. You
I'm going to talk about Stellar Blade here because you are a leftist and you don't know how to.
No, I love Stellar Blade. It's great. We get to see big titties. We get to see big ass.
It is a
and they're
game that-
jiggling. We see jiggling titties.
It's a game
and
with
jiggling
fan
ass.
service developed by a studio who is very widely known for Destiny Child.
South Korea.
And
Shout out to South Korea. Go ahead.
Do not interrupt my ass. Do not interrupt me while I'm speaking. It's the developer is
Titty.
Shift Up. That's
Yeah.
not the developer. The developer is Shift Up. The developer is known for
No.
developing games such as
we
Destiny
have
Child
titties.
and shut up.
Okay.
Nikkei Goddess of Victory, which is another popular game. I play it. I love it. A lot
I
of fan
wanna play
service on
that.
that. But
What
the-
system did it come up with?
Destiny Child and Nikkei Goddess of Victory are mobile, or iOS and I believe Android.
So they're not on the PS4? Or
No. Those are mobile games.
Okay,
And with
go
good reason. With good reason. With good reason. Good reason.
So there's no like greedy monetization or?
I wouldn't say that there's no greedy monetization. There are gotcha elements to it. However, you don't necessarily need to invest money into the gotcha if you save up the in-game currency they give you.
Okay.
Or if you earn those dailies to get the 100.
So it's like League of Legends, Wild Rift, and
In a sense, yes. Well, in the reward sense, yes. But
you don't
the
need
game,
to pay to win, but yeah.
you don't have to be paid to win. You can be paid to win. You can be a dolphin. You can be a fish. You can be a flounder. You can be a whale. Doesn't matter. But the game offers an equal opportunity to everyone. That's Nikkei Goddess of Victory. Now, with Stellar Blade, what we are getting is what is given to us by the developers who have given us Destiny Child and Nikkei Goddess of Victory. Beautiful women. Beautiful female characters. Great story, great combat mechanics, and a great deal of fan service.
Yeah, it's great. I
Thank
love it.
God.
I love it, and I love that South Korea is not bending to the left. Who want all female characters to look like men?
Fucking square-ass boxes that look
square
like,
boxes, looking like men, looking
David Hasselhoff.
looking. And I'm not saying there aren't people that would be attracted to that. Again, it's subjective. But
I
I'm just
find
glad
that
that South
disgusting.
Korea has hot women with jiggly titties, jiggling asses, and they're killing things. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome. I'm going to pre-order the game on April. I'm going to play it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to new game plus it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be like the 2000s and the 90s all over again. Now, I'm not saying that every woman needs to look like that, right? There should be variety. You know, there should be variety.
No.
The problem with Western game devs is that they just want to please feminists like Anita Sarkeesian, who don't even play the games, so you're appealing to nobody. You're doing this for no audience.
Well, look.
And the young generation, Gen Z, who are mostly liberal, who voted for Joe Biden, want hot people back. Why do you think Victoria's Secret's stock went down and their sales were shit? Because it kept showing ugly models and models who are disabled in fucking wheelchairs. Nobody wants to see that shit.
Don't forget the overweight obese.
Overweight obese too.
Expensively-
Nobody wants to see that shit. Gen Z, millennials, especially Gen Z, want to see hot fucking women back. I want to see hot fucking women.
I despise the term millennial, especially for myself. I'm from. Well, thank you. I was born 93.
Unbelievable. The disrespect. He gives that to him and not to me.
You got the prep.
The absolute disrespect.
Shut up.
Unbelievable.
Shut up.
I'm joking, of course, y'all.
No. The thing is that I don't know who this fringe minority of modern audience is that doesn't exist, because
It does, but
the modern audience is a term for we're appealing to a politically extreme group that has no interest in this whatsoever.
no, that's not the modern audience. The modern audience wants to see, most of the modern audience want to see diversity and inclusion, but they want stories that are great, characters that are great, things that make sense, and they want to see hot people come back. It's that simple. I mean, it's a perfect trifecta. You know, when it's done well, like Cobra Kai or Elite, which is made in Spain. They got like 8 seasons of that shit. It's the longest running Netflix show of all time. 8 seasons. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, most Netflix shows don't even get 3 seasons. You know, but yeah, that's a perfect trifecta. But anyways, go back to what you said about Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade is a game that really offers the target audience what it desires. A very beautifully attractive woman fighting monsters with great mechanics, great physics, great combat, and a great deal of fan service in a proper element.
Yeah, and I'm tired of people saying that women in real life don't look like that when the actress who was modeling for the character looks exactly like
Yes.
that. Like she's Korean and she's got a body. She's got big tits, like big body.
Bonkers.
Like bonkers, bro. Like knockers, bro. Like it's absolutely knock you out with knockers. And she's gorgeous. So there are women that look like that. And I live in Harlem, right? So I'm surrounded by black women and Puerto Rican women, right? And a lot of them got bodies. A lot of them look like that. Okay? So it's not something that's like uncommon. There are a lot of women that look like that got bodies, you know? So I'm just tired of that narrative saying that, oh, most women are skinny with no titties, no ass. No, that's not true. At least not in our communities. Not in our communities, it's not like that. And there are white women with bodies too.
You're
you know,
in
but
Harlem.
again,
You're in Harlem.
yeah,
You're in
Brooklyn. So you see women with bodies too.
I see women with bodies, galore, ass, tits, with the full nine curve, goddess body, hourglass. I
got
all of them.
7 viewers, by the way, which is amazing.
Oh, well,
it's the most
hello
viewers
there,
I've ever
hello
had.
there, hello
I think
there.
it's because it's Saturday. But go ahead.
I don't know if it's Saturday or if I'm just...
It is Saturday.
I feel tired.
I get more viewers on Saturday than I do on Wednesday, but go ahead.
You know who gets more viewers than anybody? The fucking TV.
Right, go ahead.
Anyways, but Stellar Blade offers exactly what is there. Reality, realism. The fact that you have a very beautiful woman with very blessed features, being the character of the game, along the story with said character of the game, very similar to that of Nier Automata.
Yeah. And they have realistic...
It's ideal. It has real... It's you're not gonna find a bunch of sticks. You're not gonna find a bunch of brick sticks that are called women. In some places you will, other places you won't.
Yeah.
They don't represent the whole...
There's a variety, you know? But also, like... And what's great is that their armor and their costumes look realistic.
They're very cybernetic.
Like the problem with Soul Calibur is that a lot of the women who are like hot, they have these costumes that you would never wear in a fight. You would never wear in an actual fight. It was ridiculous and crazy. But like, or in a lot of Final Fantasy games and old RPGs from back in the day, it's like you're not going to survive traveling the world with that type of outfit. But in Stellar Blade, they have outfits and armor that actually looks realistic. It looks cool.
I want to say that the term of games back then are being what is the word, not suitable for modern audiences, is an absurd statement. It's an absurd belief.
But it's just not realistic.
No. Here's the thing. It's a video game. Video games are not meant to be real,
right?
Or real life.
But
it's a fictional escape. It's an escapist
right.
method of art or form of artistic representation to escape from reality.
It's an artistic medium.
So, if you see a woman fighting in a most questionable clad top bikini with the chain skirt helm and helmet that's open, it's a fantasy setting because you're not going to see anyone fight like that.
Right, but you don't see the male characters looking like that. And that's kind of that's the dumb shit. Like the male characters got armor and weaponry that looks like realistic for the medieval times. And with the female characters, they're like half naked, butt naked, showing their abs or whatever else. It wasn't realistic. Yeah, it was appealing to me as a young man. But I see why women were complaining about it because because it's just not realistic.
No, it has some
And what's
form of
great about
realism.
Stellar Blade is that they're wearing armor and suits that can protect them in a fight or anything, but they still look great doing it. It still shows their curves.
I'm gonna say this. It is to a degree realistic. To a degree, you have. I don't want to say the Norse had armor in that sense. Vikings didn't wear full-bodied armor. They showed a great deal of skin. Men were exposed.
No, they were mostly wearing clothes.
They were mostly wearing clothes.
Especially if they were
regular
raining
clothes.
in the winter, in the summertime.
Yes.
They were wearing
So-
clothes.
so to
and
say-
they wore armor sometimes.
Yeah, at times.
Yeah, but they did have clothes on.
And if you go further back,
Yeah.
female warriors were present in certain civilizations, certain times, certain
Yeah.
periods.
And they were not half naked and wearing a bikini in wars. That's all I'm saying.
They
A
some-
lot of them were still great looking, but they didn't wear
They
That's all I'm saying.
No. They had some elements of armor, not fully armored. Again,
But they were armored.
some elements of
They had
armor.
protection. In some cases,
A
chainmail.
helmet is protection.
In some cases, chainmail.
Chainmail was the worst protection you could get because
No.
it was designed to stop an
No,
arrow. That's it.
Joan of Arc had chainmail.
Well, no, she had chainmail. She had some armor.
She had chainmail and a helmet.
She had some armor. Too.
Like, I mean, that's all I'm saying. And what I
No.
love, and that's what I'm saying, that's what I love about Stellar Blade is that it looks realistic and believable. You know, it's just, and while the women look hot. So I get it. It's like, you just, and it's also like imbalanced 20 years ago. There was like an imbalance to it. It's like, yeah, but some games did have balance. Like, you had the women wearing skimpy outfits in a war, and you also had the guys half naked showing their 10-pack abs and shit. So there was some balance there.
There was.
It's
Now,
like-
again.
It's like, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Conan, like remember? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's just like showing the arms, showing the muscles.
No, but I will say this. I will say this though.
Crom.
I will say this though.
Right?
I will say this though. Video games are not meant to depict or reflect reality.
But it does help. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it helps.
Sometimes.
Not all the time.
No.
And Stellar Blade doesn't need to be reality, you know? But I like that they're still aware that, okay, women who are warriors who are fighting big-ass bosses that can kill you are going to be not wearing a bikini in the fight. They're wearing protective armor, but it shows their curves. It makes them look great.
Stellar Blade for me is a game I'm extremely looking forward to. It's a game.
April 26th, baby.
There's no censorship there from what I'm seeing, and I strongly abhor censorship of any kind to the highest degree.
Yeah.
Because it's a restriction on creative freedom.
It's the problem with political correctness. Don't do political correctness.
Your political leaning is in favor of censorship.
Don't do political correctness. And it's the left isn't the only one that does censorship.
The right does too.
The right does it too. But what I'm saying is political correctness. Don't do political correctness unless it somehow serves the story, right? Unless it somehow serves the story, and a lot of times it doesn't. And South Korea knows their audience. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. And Death Stranding looks incredible. That's going to be the best game of 2025. Hideo Kojima's going to win Game Director, Best Narrative. It might win Game of the Year. It's gonna be a masterpiece. It might be the greatest sequel since what's the sequel that's great? Dark Souls 3. Great sequel. Better than the first two games.
Dark Souls 3,
Yeah.
Neo 2, Dark Souls
It's gonna be
3,
up there with the greatest sequels ever made.
Armored Core 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, why not? Yeah, that's true. Armored Core 6 is the best Armored Core game since the first game. Even though I've only played the first game and haven't played a little bit of the 6, but yeah. Okay. Sure.
I followed Armored Core. I wasn't too big a fan of the tactical version of 5. 5, or what was the tactical version?
Yeah, Death Stranding.
I liked it, but it wasn't great.
Death Stranding 2 looks great, and Stellar Blade looks great. What was it that looked bad? What was it that looked bad?
The fact that they got
Silent Hill 2 looked bad.
Silent Hill 2 looks bad.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Dave the Diver looks fun, but that's a PC original.
Yeah.
That was originally PC, so PlayStation's not getting anything new from that. It's
Helldivers 2 looks nice, but I'm not interested in playing it. I'm
No,
just not interested.
Helldivers just
It was
looks like
green.
another-
It was greenlit under Jim Ryan, so you know it's going to be microtransactions up the ass. I just don't want to.
I'm not gonna buy it.
I'm not going to buy it.
It doesn't
yeah.
look appealing to me. Starship Troopers is already on the PlayStation. I'll just play that.
Oh, and I like the new head of PlayStation, who's the head right now. Hopefully he's permanent. The guy who created Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, Guerrilla Games, who was doing that presentation with Hideo Kojima, who's coming out with a new espionage video game that's going to be coming out for the PS6, hopefully in 2029 or 2030. But yeah, that looks great.
I don't see. Excuse me. I'm not seeing any benefit to announcing a game that won't be out for another 5, 6 years.
But Hideo Kojima looks super happy. That guy looked happy talking about it, and I recognized that guy. I was like, why is he so enthusiastic? Oh, that's right. He's a gamer and a game developer. That's why he looks happier than Jim Ryan. Unlike Jim Ryan, who looked like a bored fucking dead corpse in every state of play.
Again, as I told you, the man was an EA suit. That should say enough. I don't
He's
know
a
why.
Sony suit, actually.
No.
He was with Sony.
Jim?
He was with Sony PlayStation for 25 years.
He was also on the board for Electronic Arts. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he was at Sony since 1994, 96.
Regardless, he still served on Electronic Arts.
Well, he's not a gamer, and he was a suit. Period. Forget even the EA part. Like, I mean, even without the EA.
You doubted me when I told you he was going to get fired.
No, I did not.
You doubted me.
No, I said it was possible.
You were.
I said it was possible.
No, you were saying that it's possible, but you doubt it because whatever.
I said it was possible, but I just didn't know. I didn't think it was gonna happen. At least not.
I told you the
Not-
moment
no, I just didn't think it was gonna-
information leaked in that court. Excuse me. Anyways, we're getting on topic.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I didn't think it was gonna happen in 2023. I thought he'd be fired by 2024.
Anyways,
but they did it so fast.
Anyways,
Off topic. Anyways, new espionage game by Hideo Kojima. It's gonna be a new version of Metal Gear Solid, and it's gonna be amazing for the PS6. I can't wait to buy that console for $900 and play only that game. And the title is weird. Classic Hideo Kojima. It's called Sync or Size Sync. I tried to look it up. What was the definition? It means something in coding. So it means nothing to me. I just like
It's a math thing.
it's a classic Hideo Kojima obscure title, which means that the espionage game will have something to do with coding.
I strongly implore mathematical practitioners of video gamers who are mathematical practitioners, look into that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a much better and easier time.
If you're a programmer,
following all
go right
that.
ahead. If you're a programmer,
If you're a programmer,
go for it.
coder, whatever, any of that, you would know more about this. The show I thought it wasn't great. It was an alright show. There was some good element. There were a number of good elements to it. I was a little disappointed. There wasn't anything really worth looking to.
Yeah. So those were the three parts that were awesome. Even though one was just an announcement.
Dragon's
there's no game.
Dogma 2.
Dragon's Dogma 2 looks great, but that's not a Sony exclusive.
No, but that is.
But it looks
PlayStation
incredible.
5th.
I can't wait. To play.
Again, most of the games shown a lot of the games shown at the PlayStation Showcase were third party, anyways.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've already seen the gameplay preview and demonstration and trailers for Dragon's Dogma before the state of play. I saw all that, so a lot of that didn't really interest me, but it looked great. It looked great.
As somebody who's playing and is playing again Dragon's Dogma, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I'm sick and tired of all of these.
I can't wait to play it.
I'm honestly sick and tired of all these cinematic first-person Sony exclusives. They just bore the crap
That's the
out of me.
thing. Death Stranding 2 was all the game. That's the crazy part. And they show gameplay, but those cinematics is the video game, and I can't wait to play it. Hideo Kojima, he's like a combination of Alejandro Jodorowsky and Andrei Tarkovsky, but makes video games. And he makes video games that are movies, that are cinema. He's like recreating both mediums. And I love it. I just cannot wait. It just looks so great. What else? Okay, so Silent Hill 2, the combat looked bad. Graphics looked a little rough.
So bad.
I see why people were nervous about the game studio working on a Silent Hill 2 remake because they're kind of up and down. I liked the medium, but it did feel like a Silent Hill clone. and there wasn't really anything new or interesting about it. But the big surprise that I thought was great, and it took me 3 hours to beat. It's called Silent Hill: The Short Message. It is the best Silent Hill game since the first 3 Silent Hill games. And the guy who designs the monster in the game and did the designs was the guy who did the original monster designs in the first 2 Silent Hill games. He created Pyramid Head. So he did the monster design, which is why it freaked me out so much. It scared the shit out of me. And they also had another director and producer who worked on the first 3 games as well. And it was created by a Japanese game studio. And I gotta tell you, the game is free to download. You don't have to pay nothing.
It's free to play.
You can beat it in 3 hours or less. You can beat it in 90 minutes or 2 hours or maybe in an hour or less. And the game has such a great story. It has such powerful performances, an emotional story that dealt with suicide and bodily harm and bullying and cyberbullying. And it ended in such a way that was so uplifting and had such a...
You're doing a roundabout about the whole topic.
Sorry, and it had such a resounding conclusion to me. Well, actually it did. It had a resounding conclusion, but it was great. It was wonderful. And it's a short game, and I was blown away. I was like, this is free. I give it a 9 out of 10. And before you go on, Silent Hill fans are mostly liking the game. Liking or loving the game. The critics don't like it. I understand why. Some other gamers,
it's not made for the critics.
And if you are not a Silent Hill fan and you're playing this game, you're probably not going to love it. But there are Silent Hill fans that love it. But I think the reason why I love it is because when it comes to Konami, I have very low expectations.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this.
Very low, like none. Like
Konami
it's
has
zero.
not put anything out except Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, which is the most recent installment they put out.
It's zero. It's zero. So this game, which you download for free, it's 12 gigabytes. It was amazing. Now, my biggest problem is that the dialogue and the voice dubbing doesn't match up with the mouths in the game.
I believe it was meant to stay in the original native language.
I mean, they got to probably fix that with an update someday. I don't know. But other than that, it was a great and scary and terrifying video game. It was terrifying. But go ahead.
Other than that, seeing Silent Hill was the message. I was actually impressed. I was like, this might be possible that Konami may have a return.
I'm looking forward to the game.
I look stoned. I know I'm actually not. I'm just exhausted.
COVID, After Effects, you're gonna die. But go ahead.
No, it's just exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. That is something
No, go
promising. Silent Hill 2 remake. I saw it and I was like, no, I'm staying away from that. The last time I played a Silent Hill game was what, the 360?
You can just play the original Silent Hill 2 too.
I just played the original.
original.
I just played the original.
I'm gonna buy it just in case, just in case they try to get rid of it. Because Konami can get rid of things. Oh, and I want to say that Silent Hill: The Short Message is heavily influenced and inspired by PT by Hideo Kojima, which was a video game teaser for Silent Hills that got canceled because Konami sucks. But PT by Hideo Kojima is a masterpiece. And it's really the most influential horror video game in the last 9 years, right? In the last 9 years, 10 years. It's the most influential one.
Yes.
But I will say, The Short Message, it takes that influence and it does a great job. It's not as great as Hideo Kojima's game, but it is great. It is great. But go ahead. Say what else you feel.
Oh no, I don't know how to feel. I'm like knocking out.
Oh, go ahead. Say what you gonna say.
No, I'm knocking out. I'm literally falling asleep.
Okay, cool. All right, so PlayStation State of Play was...
No, there was one thing I wanted to say.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing, 2 things, 3 things.
The new Spanish language, that's no gender?
That you do not say. If you go to a Latin country, you go to a Latin person and speak that, you will get into a fight. They will fight with you because one, it's an insult and it is colonial. It is colonialism on a native language.
I love it when he does this.
On a language that has been established for a very long time.
That's right.
For you to go to say Puerto Rico, Ecuador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Salvador, Mexico, Costa Rica, Brazil. Well, sí, not Brazil, pero
Brazil's Portuguese.
Peru, Peru or any of those countries, and tell them this is the new language we created. You are going to be ridiculed, mocked, and at you're most likely going to face some form of threats and potential violence. There's a reason why Shut Up Gringo is a trend.
No shit, nigga, shut up.
Oh, was that
Hey!
good?
What's up?
That was
What's up,
Is he-
How
is
you
he
doing,
good?
Good. Yo,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that? That whole new gender neutral Spanish that was created by the woke
Latinx?
Latinx, what they call
I don't
themselves.
even
By the
know
way,
what I'm not
Latinos.
on top of that,
By the
bro.
way, Latinos
Let
do
me
not like the
update
word
me on that, update me
Latinx.
on that.
I'll update you after.
Yeah.
For-
By the way,
for-
Latinos do not like the word Latinx. So white liberals stop saying it because you saw it on Twitter and you chose to keep saying it. So stop.
Let me tell you something. You in English, you
I love it when he does it.
you progressive wokies.
Yeah. Fuck Spider-Man 2. And fuck Insomniac
Oh,
games.
I have no intention of supporting Insomniac.
And fuck Sony. Fuck Sony. Say it. Say fuck Sony.
Screw Sony.
No, say fuck Sony.
Fuck Sony.
There you go.
What the hell
Yeah.
is Sony?
Okay,
Sony's
sorry.
American now. Sony's been American the moment they emerged in California.
Well, since they shut down Sony Japan.
Yes, it's American. It's been American. It's been American since they shut down Sony Japan and set their headquarters for PlayStation in California. It's been American. You do not. Let me put it this way: you call a Spanish person, you call a Latino or a Spaniard a slur, they will laugh it off. You call them Latinx, okay. You better have a way out because you're getting into a lot of trouble there. Spanish people would rather put up with slurs than Latinx. Latinx is a very, how do I put it? It is in consensual terms. It's basically smacking Latino and taking their shit and mocking them. In terms.
That's a great analogy. Okay.
Your viewers left. Hello.
I have one view. I had 7. I actually almost had 10. But go ahead.
Latinx is not even a word that can be said in Spanish.
No shit.
You can't say it in Spanish.
No.
So for people to say Latinx, yeah, you can say it in English. You're stupid for saying it, and you're stupid for being that. You're an imbecile at most, and you probably need some heavy death ridiculing and ass whoopings to put you in line. You cannot say it in Spanish. So for people to keep putting this out, Latinx, you are creating a very big problem for yourself in the Latin communities, in the Latin culture, in Latin countries. You create yourself an image, and you start putting this nonsense out there. It is going to result in a great problem for you. The next one I want to say is that the PlayStation Showcase was alright. It was alright. There were some things that were exciting, yes, and there was a lot of things that were not.
The state of play.
The PlayStation Showcase, State of Play, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
called.
so I'll say this about also State of Play. It was great. I thought it was amazing. It was way better than the Xbox Direct by a long shot. I mean, the Xbox Direct was mostly disappointing. Avowed looks fucking terrible. Indiana Jones game looks good, but it's first person, and the graphics look kind of rough, but also kind of.
And the developers.
And they look
the
kind of good.
developers,
And then,
developers.
but then they really fucked up where they put on a non-binary gay white guy with a Rihanna haircut, with a gay pride shirt, saying we are making this game for modern audiences. And I was like, oh my god, you know what's gonna happen in this game?
It's gonna flop.
No, forget the flop. You know what's gonna happen?
What?
It's a bait and switch. Because again, this is Lucasfilm Games. This is Kathleen Kennedy. You put a chick in it, all right?
You make her gay, and
right?
you make her
her
lame.
lame, right? You put a chick in it, right? And so what they're gonna do to Indiana Jones, that female character you saw in that game for like a little bit, that's beating up Troy Baker as Indiana Jones. That's going to be probably the main character or co-main character. She's going to show up. She's going to beat the shit out of Indiana Jones. And then you're going to play as her for 10 to 12 hours of the fucking game. And you're not really going to play as Indiana Jones at all. They basically told you that. All right? It's a bait and switch. Because it's Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm's games. All right? Put a chick in it. All right?
Make her
her
gay.
gay.
Make
Make
her
her
lame.
lame. Right? That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
This is the reason why
It's gonna happen. And don't get me wrong, I love lesbians. Okay, I love sapphic love stories, but the way things do in Disney and Lucasfilm is is disrespectful to the gay community. It's disrespectful to the lesbian community because they're putting that community in compromising positions and making people who are already homophobic even worse in many ways. Because you're choosing to take an iconic male character and you're going to replace him with a chick. And she's probably not even gay, right? But you're going to replace him with that chick.
You're forgetting.
You're already fucking up.
No, you forgot something. Because of DEI, because of DIE, whatever.
Has to do with workplace.
Because of that, no.
Has to do with workplace. I just want to say that.
Because of
everything we're about to say is an opinion. Officially, what he just said has to do with workplace and trying to keep people from being harassed and have a safe work environment. But there is this theory, the conspiracy theory, that's probably true, probably not. But we will go on and talk about it. Go ahead.
Whatever they call it, debt, exclusivity, ignorance is what I call it.
DEI.
DEI, debt, exclusivity, ignorance.
No, DIE, diversity, inclusion, something else. But yeah.
Ignorance, exclusivity, if you want to say it that way. Whatever, that's what I call it because at this point it's regression. The concept of this being the label for a game is a red flag for so many people because you're creating a great deal of backlash and animosity as well as resentment towards the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck you want to call themselves.
And liberals don't even like it either. Leftists don't even like this. The majority of them don't. Look at all the backlash that happened with Snow White, where she said she's going to be a girl boss and she's going to be the leader that her father wanted her to. You know how many leftists were pissed off by those stupid ass interviews and statements from Rachel Zegler? I mean, it was so hilarious.
I was surprised they didn't fire her. But
no, they delayed the movie by a year.
No, they delayed the movie because they need to be able to do reshoots to do the bait and switch.
I think so.
To do a bait and switch.
No, they got to do research. They did the research. They saw the backlash, and they're probably going to spend like $50 million on reshoots to fix the movie. And you notice that Rachel Zegler's statements on Snow White changed immediately, right? You know, when she was talking about Hunger Games and doing the actors on actors thing, like her statements changed immediately, bro. It was crazy. But go ahead.
Anyways, when that's brought up, it's a red flag. I tend to look at it as this is gonna have a woke political messaging with a very in-your-face story for whatever message, for whatever nonsense. It's annoying. It's annoying to have that thrown in your face day in, day out. I can't go online. Social media has it. I close social media. I go on YouTube. YouTube recommends nonsense like that. I put don't recommend, not interested. I even report channels that do that now.
So, State of Play, Sony State of Play was way better than Xbox Direct. Killed it. Just annihilated it. Avowed looks terrible. And what was even worse about the trailer for Avowed was that they show you a side quest where you're given different options, and then they tell you you're going to make a decision that's going to have an effect on that side quest later on. But they don't even show it to you, they just tell you. I'm like, okay, this game is already worse than Baldur's Gate 3. You give me no optimism. I've already seen the best. Larian Studios changed the game. I'm sorry. I am not going to enjoy Avowed. But at least it's on Game Pass.
I will say this.
At least it's on Game Pass.
I will say this. The PlayStation State of Play was better than the Xbox, yes, but it was underwhelming, in my opinion. It was underwhelming.
Yes.
And I will say that's the third statement, the third point. The games that were announced at the PlayStation Direct were mostly third parties. There was barely anything first party.
And it was still better than the Xbox Direct.
Still a disappointment. When you're talking about PlayStation Direct, you're thinking, well, PlayStation's got an announcement. They're gonna show something, first party, whatever.
If we're talking about State of Play, showing video games, Sony kicked Xbox's ass. I'm sorry. We're talking about showing video games. Like Death Stranding 2 looks real. It looks like a movie. If the graphics are so with the Guerrilla Game engine that Guerrilla Games uses, I think it's called Dice Engine. I mean, bro, like that. Yeah, it's called Dice Engine.
The engine that Dice uses from Electronic Arts.
No, it's called Decima. Decima Game Engine. Yeah.
Okay.
Decima Game Engine. Dude, that game engine, like Death Stranding 2, looks fucking real. It just looks like a movie. It looks like a video game and a movie. I'm sorry, it killed everything from Xbox. That game is the best game of 2025.
I will say this. I will rate
And
it-
Jeff Neely is friends with Hideo Kojima, so I hope the Game Awards in 2025, I hope he rigs this shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope he tells the judges, you gotta give it to my boyfriend, motherfuckers. All right? That's my man over there. That's my boyfriend. We are in love, okay? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta give him Best Narrative, Game Director,
You're
the
gonna-
Lifetime Achievement Award
You're
again.
gonna create resentment.
The Lifetime Achievement Award
Stop, you're creating
again,
resentment.
and give him Game of the Year, okay? And create a new award called the Hideo Kojima Legacy Award, right? Do that shit.
Doc.
Do that shit.
Doc.
Do that shit.
Anyways, I give the showcase a 7 out of 5. Or a 7.5 out of 10.
I give it a 9. I give it a 9. Say if I give it a 9. The
Alright.
Xbox Direct, I give a 5.
I gave it a 4.
You give Xbox Direct a 4?
Yeah, I give it a 4.
You know, I'll give it a 4 too. I'll give it a 4 too. I actually agree with that.
I gave it a 4, but not because I disliked it, but because what they showed, yes, it was exciting, but it was so disappointing when they actually got to showing it.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on this PlayStation Showcase. I am just a man. I am just a human. I am just a gamer. I am just a guy who likes watching video games, playing video games, and enjoying things that I find interesting. That is not politically woke and all that crap. Mind you, there's a new mobile game for Devil May Cry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Steve.
That really
This
sucks
is Steve's
too.
thoughts.
New mobile game for Devil May Cry.
And
But,
I am going to let you go because I'm falling asleep and I need to go get some food.
Yeah, he's dying of COVID, and I'm gonna die too. But if we,
I'm gonna kill this man.
If we don't make
There you go.
If we don't make a live video next week, it means we both died of COVID. So the last thing I want to talk about was Death Stranding 2, Hideo Kojima. I think Overdose will win Game of the Year for Xbox in 2026 or 2027. Let's go. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, this is Brian J's Nerd Talk. Live long and prosper.
Steve's Thoughts Nerd Talk. Have a good one.